Dexter Lumis' story is starting to receive some questions from fans, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also see the rumors for Rey and Dominik's final standoff, and the latest with Paige. Let's start things off with the Dexter Lumis story. Dexter returned in early August in a very intriguing way. There were hints about his arrival in the background of other segments that night all throughout Raw. The whole part of his return was done perfectly, and it instantly built a lot of interest and suspense. Like we learned in the weeks that followed his return, Dexter was after The Miz. Once it was revealed who he was after, Dexter started dragging The Miz out of the arenas, sitting in his car, and even visiting his home. One of the most recent events in the story was The Miz inviting Dexter Lumis to an edition of Miz TV. Dexter cut through the ring, grabbed on The Miz's legs a few times, and that was it for the segment. There are a few logic issues there that some fans brought up, such as why would The Miz invite his stalker to the show and then get surprised when he actually shows up? Another funny point that fans have brought up is that The Miz was this innocent man that was minding his own business and started getting stalked, and somehow he's the villain of the story. While the individual that doesn't work for WWE within the storyline and is stalking and harassing The Miz, even invading his home, is somehow the hero of the story. So it is pretty bizarre story in that perspective. But fans are seriously wondering how long it'll take before the story advances again. We're going on almost 2 months of Dexter stalking The Miz, but there's still no explanation to why this is all happening. 2 months of Dexter jump scaring The Miz, but the deeper story still hasn't been revealed, and it's not there yet. But if the story doesn't really advance in the coming weeks, it's gonna start treading water here real soon. If Dexter just keeps scaring The Miz, it's great, but it doesn't really push the story forward anymore since we've seen that for 2 months already. So it's unfortunately going to get to the point where the story won't be worth discussing until it takes that next big step and pushes the narrative forward some more in a big way. But if they're going to keep doing segments like the Miz TV one, it's just hard to break that down or add any theories around it because it doesn't add much of any value to the story. And that sort of thing happens before thousands of times with WWE stories. Like when Alexa Bliss was trying to bring back The Fiend and spent the better part of 2 months just discussing and talking about it in quick segments on Raw. It got to the point that it became a bit repetitive and fans were burnt out. They just want to see the next step in the story with The Fiend's return. Of course, you don't ever want to rush through a story. You want to let it unfold fully and take all the time it needs. But once we start seeing some repetitive segments, that's what gets the fans wanting to move the story on. And we're slowly approaching that point with The Miz and Dexter's storyline. We fully get it. He's after The Miz and has been after him for 2 months. What's next? What's the next big reveal in the story? Why is he doing this? What does he want? If they don't answer those questions soon and just have Dexter continue to play peekaboo with The Miz, then this story is obviously going to be at a stalemate. So that's the latest with the storyline. Hasn't been moving much over the last few weeks, but hopefully we're getting there sometime soon. Dominik Mysterio has recently found new life as the newest member of the Judgment Day. After frustrations grew out of hand with his father, Dominik turned on Rey and aligned himself with the Judgment Day. Despite his betrayal, Rey Mysterio is still protective of Dominik and doesn't dare hit and strike him at all. Dominik obviously knows this and plays into that fact, that his father won't place a hand on him. Now, the easiest guess and fan assumption at this current time is that a Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio match will be the big payoff here. There's a lot of possible ways they can go with this story, but Rey versus Dominik one-on-one just seems like it has to happen now more than ever. And there's actually some small rumors floating around about what the match could actually look like and the extra stipulation and stakes that will be on the line. There's some reports out there that claim Rey Mysterio will be putting not only his mask on the line, but his career on the line as well, against Dominik Mysterio down the line in their match. If Dominik wins and defeats Rey Mysterio, Rey must forcefully hand over his mask and retire from WWE. Rey has said several times in many interviews that he's only still wrestling for Dominik's sake and to properly help him step into the business. So now that Dominik has broken free from Rey Mysterio and is on his own, is Rey's mission complete? Will he be quietly entering retirement now that he's done what he said he was going to do? It's a possibility, and if he's gonna retire, why not let your son be the one to have that final match with you? Of course, it's not gonna be a fairy tale happy ending to Rey Mysterio's career. It's not like Rey Mysterio and Dominik will be having this friendly father-son exhibition match, where Rey will peacefully lose to Dominik and have this emotional moment of passing in the mask down to him after the match. That would have been the happy ending. It's obviously not happening in that fashion. Dominik is a heel and has become very spiteful towards his father, so he most likely will brutally beat down Rey Mysterio in this match, forcefully rip the mask off his head, and place his father right into retirement. That's what it will most likely look like, and maybe some fans won't like that ending, because no one wants to see the legendary Rey Mysterio go down like that. But on the flip side, maybe Rey really doesn't mind his last match looking like that because it'll help establish the future of his son's career. And maybe way down the line, Dominik would turn babyface again and maybe straighten things out with his father so that the fans could get behind him again deep in the future. But either way, it's a storybook ending for Rey Mysterio. Who would have guessed that his own son would be the one to retire him in that sort of fashion? No one saw that coming. So if they do decide to go down that mask versus retirement sort of match for Dominik and Rey, it would really be an interesting one to see play out. In other news, Saraya, formerly known as Paige in WWE, has officially signed with AEW. Saraya made her first AEW appearance at AEW Grand Slam to a massive reception. Her WWE contract expired back in July, and the company didn't extend it. So she peacefully said goodbye to the WWE and to the Paige name. Even shortly after her AEW debut, it was reported that WWE was considering bringing her back after Triple H took over. But it looks like AEW beat them to it. It's still unknown if Saraya will be actually cleared or not to compete in the ring, or if she'll just be used in a manager sort of role for another member of the AEW women's division. Either way, Saraya said she couldn't be any more happier, so we'll see what awaits her in AEW. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.